Hello guys! Today we're gonna do a video about the faction warfare fits. They have been popular in the faction warfare zone, and some of the pilots that pilot them, and that get solo kills on the battlefield. And yeah, I'm just gonna talk a little bit like a couple of hotspots where you would like to be or you should be if you're looking to do that. So it's already suppressed, man. They were fast. What the hell? Anyway, yeah, fits, guys. I've seen that you guys are quite liking it. The series, me talking about it. I mean, it's just a couple of fits that we'll be doing in this today or week. We're gonna do a fit that I think I have seen this fit already from Delahunt Coercer Navy Issue, which is solid all around. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? Very good damage. I mean, this is gonna be close up, and because of the Coercer Navy Issue doesn't have 3 slots, it's more about like you piloting the ship a little bit better. So the manual piloting matters. I mean, because you're not gonna scram, the other person could move like real fast. So the advantages is that because you can switch up between the ammunition real quick, and you have all those different types of ranges that you can choose from. This is like 12 kilometers or even like the long range one. You can just choose what the distance you would like to fight on, and this fit has like pretty good defense, HP, and good offense, and you can usually just you debate between even like you want to scram kite or you want to kite. You don't really want to brawl, but you can brawl against like maybe frigates, and you can just destroy them like real quick. But solid ship all around. It's focused on like getting the the armor resistance up very much. Use the multi-spectra, the damage controller, and the usual damage amplifiers that are used. This is like, let me check, what is this actually gonna give you? Increase the optimal range. Okay. Yeah, so like I say, it's just like increases the optimal range. He's looking to scram kite or to kite with this ship. I mean, it's a solid ship. I mean, it works very well, and it's been used mostly on the Diamar versus Minotaur. Although I've seen this, I think I actually taken this from like one of the insurgency fit. This guy, Delahunt, is using those fits. I mean, it's not even. I mean, it doesn't have to be cap stable, but it's solid all around. Like I said, has a little bit of everything, and it really focuses on just manual piloting, which requires a little bit of skill. So you have to pilot this ship a little bit, so you get the feel of it. It's not like one of those ships you can just like hop around and do your own thing, but solid. Yeah, small focus pulse laser 2 with 5mm micro overdrive with disruptor, not scrambler, and yeah, like I said, all these scrams, and a polycarbon. I guess this is so you can just move a little faster. Yeah, the velocity and maneuverability of the ship to increase a little bit as much as you can. I mean, it's this ship. I mean, this fit is really tight. I mean, it's really on the power grid edge and the CPU edge. I mean, think he just like chooses the right fits. I think you can, yeah. I mean, it doesn't require any implants to fly this, so this is like one thing that you can, or it's good that. And in case you don't have like the Magic 14, you can just like go with the expert systems, and there should be one here that will give you so you can just fly those fits. There's like, yeah, there's even like the Amar pilot now right now that you can just like fly all the Amar fits. But what is that called? It's called yeah, ship core ship operations, which is basically gonna give you the magic 14, so you can just like fly for a week. In case you don't have that skill towards already the magic 14, you can just like buy that, so you can just don't have any power grid or CPU issues to fly any of the ships, which is quite useful. Because usually it takes a long time to just skill towards those magic 14, so it's in case you have space for the expert system, you can use that. All right, so much for the first fit. And the second fit is the classic Catalyst Navy issue. I'm saying classic because it's like more or less a variation of like all we see in so far from the Catalyst Navy issue, being dominant in the faction warfare, with being with the light neutral blasters, having scram, web, and micro warp drive. With he's using small goal Nosferatu, so he's just like, in case he's gonna brawl a little bit longer, so or he doesn't get neuted by some of those coursers, newts, fits, so he can just like keep shooting his guns. He's focusing on having quite a bit of a tank. He's not using the full extent of the power grid because he's looking more for just to have the ancillary armor repair on, so you can just like brawl. So this fit is definitely looking to brawl and looking to get all those cycles in. Usually just like when you get like in a very close high damage brawl destroyer battle, it's just like sometimes I can't even get like the whole 8 cycles in with the smaller ancillary boosters. So you have like 8 cycles with the nanite paste for this, but the fight lasts, you know, just like it's so short sometimes. I even only get like 4 cycles in or something, which is crazy. But yeah, it's just like, I guess it's a little bit like of how you navigate and how much DPS do they have. Do they have like any implants and all so on. Let's look at the damage. I mean, it's pretty disgusting. I mean, very good damage. Not the most damage that I've seen. I've seen definitely some fits that have a little bit more damage, but he's focusing on more of a little bit of like sustainability, maybe just like a little bit. I mean, you can't do too much maneuverability in a brawling catalyst because you're just gonna get scrammed, so you're gonna move like really slow. But sometimes you can just pull a little bit of distance, so you get like outside of his optimal range. Maybe just switch up to some null and you hit him with null and he's like trying to hit you with the void or something. And yeah, obviously he has the antimatter, so this is very good against faster ships if you can catch them, or just it has just good tracking, you know, in general. And yeah, it's a good ship against smaller ship, or good, you know, armor against smaller ships. Yeah, the classic Catalyst Navy issue is still dominant in the faction warfare, and I think it's gonna be for a long period of time. So even with the introduction of those new Navy ships, I haven't seen them that much dominant, or maybe because it's still up like a player up choice. But yeah, besides Algos Navy issue, none of other of those Navy issue fits haven't appeared in the faction warfare fits being a dominant. The next one, I think it's also like a guy that I've mentioned, or a fit that I've mentioned, and it's a very cheap one. I mean, if you look at it, it's only 7.2 million, and it's a frigate. So he's getting into battles. He's in a very populated. I mean, he's having this fit in the right place at the right time. I mean, he's in the theaters of war, and I think he is using this because he's getting a lot of kills solo in the very agglomerated or very populated region here, which is the head. There's like a big structure there. There's like a fort. What is that called? Keepstar, yes, a Keepstar there, which you know, and there's like a lot of people, or like Minotaur, who just defend this system or just deplex the system, but they're all around like the area. There's like, you know, fights that you can pick up on in that constellation. So there's like a lot of 1 versus 1, and he is using a very, I mean, I would say modest, but I mean, he has a little bit of everything. I mean, this is faction warfare. This is how you get solo kills with what he's having. He is switching between either being like brawling ship or like scram-kiting. So he has like the classic scram, web, and afterburner. He has the afterburner because in a smaller ship he can move a little faster. And yeah, he's having the reactive hardener, which is very useful. He doesn't have that much sustainability with this capacitor, so I don't know how he gets some. But I guess, I mean, in like frigate fights, the fight doesn't last that long, so you can just like always have those on, and you don't fight like capacitor draining fits or ships in general. So you can just like have all the modules on. He can get like 24 seconds. You can actually get all the cycles in with the nanite. I think at 24 seconds. Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you overheat, yeah. Yeah, if you overheat, you'll definitely get it 24 seconds, all the cycles in. Yeah, I mean, what to tell you? And the reactive, you really don't need to overheat. I mean, his the reactive is gonna just react, and he's just like using the combination of this reactive. It's a very good combination. So the reactive armor, it just gives you protection in the right spots, and the ancillary is just like keep repairing your armor. So it's a really good combination. Once he gets through the shields, the enemy, it will be it's very very hard to get through the armor. If he gets through the armor, basically he's the whole, it's like almost nothing. It's all focused on the armor, so if he just like someone can break his armor, he can beat him. But very hard to beat because he can choose between either to scram-kite or to even brawl. So can do a little bit of everything, man. I mean, it's a really cheap feat. Look at this. I mean, autocannons, 150 autocannons, use the barrage or the hole for more damage. I mean, this is like really close range, but he can definitely just scram-kite a little bit with this too. So he just like really beats other pilots by just having the right optimal range or the better optimal range for their guns that he's using. So because of that, because he's in a more better place, in a better space, distance, comparatively with the opponent's weapons, which might be have like an optimal range or a fallout aim where they don't do that much damage or almost nothing, and he's in the spot where he deals a little bit of damage. He's just like pulling the right distance with the afterburner. Maybe if it's the overprops this, so you just like keep the right distance. And yeah, the 400 rolled a plate, which is going to give him more armor to work around with. I mean, the damage, it's what I tell you, man, hey, it's like the most basic ship on the game. It's like a really frigate. It's not even like a navy ship, but I mean, it has the right bonuses, the rate of fire, the fallout, and you know, it's focused on that. And basically he's just like, you know, using those attributes and the fact that it is one of the faster ships, to just like, you know, maybe have the right distance, and you know, having even like a small, I don't know, booster or something can just make the difference with this fit. So I like it. I mean, I've seen it, I think I've highlighted maybe like in one of the other weeks, but yeah, he's, you know, keep popping on the Z kill board top as being the top solo kill PvPer and in the faction warfare. So I'm just gonna keep highlighting himself. I mean, he's gonna be like a champion. I'm gonna make like a list here of all the people, because it's not like every freaking week we're gonna get new fits. Although I got a couple of interesting fits. If you've seen the series of this channel for the faction warfare fits, I have quite a bit of diversity. Let's go to the last one, which is Kitty Cat. And I think I've seen this one already, and he has just introduced like a small difference, that he, from the last time that we pick, and it's just the web. He really just wants the extra range from the web, and he can get up to 17 kilometers. I mean, this is freaking disgusting. 17 kilometers, and that is not even like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. I mean, you can definitely roll, or just like abyssal roll some of those like webs, the tier, or even the tier 2 to just roll, and you can probably get to 17. But I mean, this is disgusting. I mean, 30, I mean, this is 17 kilometers web, and yeah, I mean, he's picking the right range. Obviously, he can, you know, this is a Hecate. It's not a alpha friendly fit, and he's using this in the insurgency, in the Angel Cartel insurgency, most of the time, where he can just switch up between ammo, and not only ammo, between all those tier 3 specific, or only for tier 3, where you can just like switch up the mode. You know, you can just switch up the defense mode, or you can just switch up the sharpshooter mode, the propulsion mode. And as you can see, and any of those increases damage. For example, this has like almost 600 damage, and if I overheat, I can probably get even more. And this is like, you know, the whole, this is like, it has like a better repairs, for more sustainability, for more attrition type of build. I mean, that's the beauty of the tier 3s, guys, is just like you, I mean, you really can switch up between what you're actually gonna want to do. And because he has the web and the disruptor from the far edge, he really can actually just choose all those different types of engagements that other ships cannot. So you can really choose, I want to brawl, I want to scram-kite, I want to kite. So this is like the ultimate faction warfare fit. But the only disadvantage, I mean, it's not gonna have a disadvantage because he's doing more the insurgency, where there's all advanced, but it's an advanced ship, so you cannot enter the regular one if they're gonna do the regular sites, the Navy sites. But yeah, legit. I mean, he's not even using the freaking like tier 2 variations of it. I mean, you can put the tier 2 armor pumps for you know, the explosive, so he just like covers up this hole that he's having for the armor when he, yeah. So it's just like a little, in case somebody is smart and trying to rip through his armor faster with a specific ammo. But yeah, very interesting fit, and like I think you can even switch up the micro warp drive to have like a tier 2 as well. Yeah, it's one of those ships, man, that can really do it all. Good tank, good damage, good defense, and each time, that's the thing. I want to suggest you to fly this ship, but it's a really complete ship that can do a little bit of everything, and that's why he's getting all those like kills. And last time around when I've seen it, it's just like he had like a regular web, but I think he's really emphasizes on getting the you know, the right range when he's you know, he's just switching between the ammo, probably likely to have like, you know, the right range. And let me see, sharpshooter, let me see, he's getting up to 9k, but I think he's, does he have any other type? Why is he using this specific? Because it is range, but the velocity is still 55%. So I guess he's just really wants to catch like people who, or ships that are trying to kite him. I think that's what he is trying to fight. And if he can just like get the web in the, you know, the right spot, can just probably approach it faster. So I guess this is like, yeah, against people who's trying to pull range away from him, and he's trying to catch with the web. This is more not necessarily actually for the scram-kite, because he has like not that big of a range, even with the sharpshooter mode on. For the blaster, he's like a 9k with the null ammo. So yeah, I like the fit. I mean, he has like the tracking enhancer. I don't know if he collected that from our loot, or he's really switching up. I think he might be able to just switch up in case he is fighting one of those, like, you know, yeah, where you need a little bit more tracking, maybe even the drones to shoot. You need a little bit. Yeah, also what I think one thing that I forgot to mention, the antimatter charges, in case you're just like fighting some heavy drones ships that you really want to kill the drones, you should switch up to the Caldari Navy antimatter instead of the Void, because it has better tracking. You can just like destroy those drones a little faster, especially the faster drones, the warrior ones. You really want to switch up between those and to have this ammo, because it's really, really important. and then maybe even just like use the web on the drones. That's you probably something that you know. But yeah, the antimatter are definitely better against the fast drones for sure. So yeah, that's for this week about the faction warfares. I've seen a lot of love for this series on YouTube, so I'm gonna keep posting about it. Gonna give you some updates more about I like faction warfare. I'll probably gonna just do the alliance tournament, maybe do like a commentary over. I like engagements like that, and yeah, I like talking about. I mean, that's the beauty of EVE Online. You can just like do so many other so different things, you know, in the game, and the sky is the limit, literally in this game. All right, thanks. Subscribe, and I'll post more EVE Online content and gaming in general content here more. Thanks. Bye.